How is everybody doing today? And in this video, I do want to go ahead and not only showcase, but also talk to you about the new score battle. And I definitely want to make these videos a little closer to when they release. That way, when I basically get the mode, or when we all get the mode or the brand new boss, I can tell you what the weaknesses are so that you can prepare early, or I can tell you how to basically overall get your game plan going. That way it's as easy as possible and everybody gets the rewards. A win-win, right? So I do want to make these a little bit earlier. I know I'm a little late to this one, but I was just gonna go ahead and make a video for anybody that is struggling and wants to learn how to basically one-shot to two-shot a boss to go ahead and get all the rewards that you possibly need, because there's so much in that list of rewards that you can get that is so good. But let's go ahead and start talking about some of the things inside the game that will help you out quite a bit in the score battle, and that is with the weaknesses right now. The weaknesses in this game at the current moment for this score battle, particularly of the posting of this video until we get the next one, and then I'll make another video about it. We are looking at Thunder and Ice weak characters. So Thunder characters are going to go as follows of which ones you could possibly use to burst down the boss. The new Tama definitely can do it. Now, I'm not telling you, really quickly before we start this video, I'm not telling you to go pull for these characters. Yes, Tama is on banner and she is quite a good unit. I'm not gonna lie. For Thunder characters, she is not only able to do damage herself, but she's also able to buff, which is really good. She can attack and buff for Thunder, which is really nice. But this doesn't include characters in the future that might be Thunder as well, that can do all sorts of different things. I'm just telling you, you can use her if you already have her. I'm not telling you to get her right now. I'm just saying, if you do have her, you can use her. Tama is definitely a character that can burst down the enemy because of what she's able to do. She buffs her own Thunder damage. She also does damage after buffing it. That's really freaking good for Tama. Thunder Ichigo is what we're going to be using today, because yes, using weaknesses on the enemy massively boost the damage that you're going to be doing. You're going to see how much damage you're going to be doing specifically. And then of course, other than that, we do have this Yuina as well that could be used to be able to do enough damage. But other than that, oh, and this Carol, my bad, and this Carol as well can be used. The other characters will just be buffers. Saika is a Thunder buffer or a Thunder field buffer, and then Sumomo is a Thunder breaker, not necessarily needed. Breakers right now are in a dilemma of not really needing to be used, but the other weakness right now is Ice, and that is going to be the Swimsuit Sumomo. We also have the Ice Waki, and then we lastly have, if I'm not wrong, this Kanzaki as well, which I've never used, but I do think that you can use her as a DPS to be able to burst down the enemy, but I do think she takes some time to build up. And then lastly, you do also have this Maria. If you don't mind waiting, if you can get her totems up, that is going to be a massive one shot that you can do with Maria. Even though she's a healer, she can do a crazy amount of damage with the way she works. But those are going to be the characters you can use: electric Ichigo, electric what was it, Yuina, and also the electric Wacky, I think it was. Who was the electric character? My bad, I'm trying to remember all the characters that the Tama. So Tama, Ichigo, and then it is the Yuina and Carol, and then for the Ice is going to be, I know it's Wacky, and then after Wacky it is a Sumomo swimsuit, and then Kanzaki. Those are the characters that are necessarily going to be the ones that you can use with the most amount of value to be able to burst down the boss. But I have already cleared this with another unit at 91 difficulty, and it was with this Ruka. This Ruka, or any other DPS that you potentially have, because there are no weakness down elements at the current moment, you can basically use any setup that is going to be having you buffing up everybody and debuffing. So we are going to be using a general team setup, but we're going to be following the Thunder boost, which we're going to be using the Ichigo today. And if you want to learn how this lineup works, Yingsha and Shiki, because they're both limit broken once, they are able to give an SP to the backline. Since they're both on the field at the same exact time, that means the backline gets a full 4 skill points every single turn. And then Saika also gets a free skill point because she has a limit break as well. Megumi is here for a bunch of debuffs when it comes to being vulnerable and also defense down, and always here to help us get some skill points because she will be defending and nullifying damage and taunting damage for quite some time, which makes her an absolutely beautiful unit. Not only is this Yingsha an S rank, which is giving us the free skill points in the backline, but we're also going to see that she does have the SS Yingsha skill where she's able to help hit count, which is going to massively help out Ichigo, because man, this Yingsha is just so good. But let's go ahead and get into the boss to showcase how to basically one-shot these guys, because if you don't know how to buff stack, if you don't know how to debuff stack, well, we're going to be learning today because I'll be doing it for you so that you can copy it on your own and use this with any DPS that you currently have. Is going to work the same way for the most part. Right now I don't think I can use anything but use Yinksha's because her doesn't require the full amount of skill points. You can go negative with her SS rank skill, so we're gonna go ahead and use that on Ichigo, and then someone's gonna take a beating. At level 90 you are going to get hurt quite a bit, so you don't want to go into this without a healer. You don't want to go into this without a defender. You definitely want something to help you out, because as you can see, Shiki almost got one shot. So looking at that, we're gonna go ahead, trade out Yinksha for Aoi because she has no use. She has that negative skill points. We're gonna put these angel wings out, Sacred Cantata, Absolute Phenomenon, put that on Ichigo, and that is going to be our buffs there. And we're just gonna wait for the most part. That's all we can do here. And since Aoi is going to be taking most of the hits and nullifying it, we can put the Yinksha back in, because look at that, block, no damage, absolutely beautiful. If you have that Aoi, use the Aoi. That junk is so strong for no reason. But again, we're gonna go ahead, just farm up skill points. You do get more points for basically one-shotting it or getting as much damage as possible, but of course we're just focusing on killing the boss right now to get all the rewards. I don't think it's necessarily 100% needed to get the crazy amount of full points from it. I'm trying to make sure I have the guard. Okay, I still have the taunt, so we can still take some. But yes, oh yeah, she's gonna take a little bit of damage. Not too bad though. We still got the taunt. Look at that, always taking nothing. We love to see it. Try to make sure we have everything here. We have charge up, attack power, crit rate, crit damage. The last amount of buffs I do need are going to be the defense down and the vulnerable. I do have to wait a little bit for the defense down, which is 6 skill points, which would be next turn if I put her in the back line. I don't trust this Shiki being here by herself, I'm not gonna lie. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave this alone. I just want to have the Absolute Phenomenon ready. Oh no, wait, she already has it, right? Oh no, she needs it one more time. So we're gonna use the Absolute Phenomenon again, because remember, each buff and debuff can only stack twice, and we don't have the crit rate, crit damage double here, so we're gonna do it once more. I need the defense down and the vulnerable, so we gotta wait on that. I'm putting all the full health characters in the front because I don't want anybody getting one shot. We're just buffing Ichigo once more. This would be cool if we one shot. I don't expect it to, because if I remember right, it didn't last time. But I just want the most. Dang, he healed. I didn't even know he could do that. Okay, now we should be ready. Wow, she still needs one more. What the heck? All we can do is just do another basic attack. And after that, we should be fine though. We should be able to get off quite a bit here. He's gonna do his little damage there. And this sucks because I potentially could mess up because she has the confuse, which would suck so bad, I'm not gonna lie. So what we might do here is we're gonna just leave this as is. We're gonna do a first, yeah, see, they're all getting confused, so I just want to go. No, they all got confused back to back. I was trying to do it so that we could get the overdrive, but now we don't need it anymore. Ichigo can finally let off her nuke. As you can see, we have all these buffs: crit rate, crit damage, attack, and charge. And this one's not going to be used until next time. So we have all of that. We're going to go ahead and do exposed vulnerabilities, because of course that's going to allow us to do more damage on weakness, which we are matching with lightning. We have the reduced defense, because of course reducing their defense, and then we're going to be using Ichigo's move, which should help out quite a bit in doing all the damage that we are going to be doing. And let's see how much we do end up doing. I'm actually very excited to see. That's one, that's two. And if we could extend the debuffs, we could try and do. Look at that, 382k. He's almost one shot. Holy, that is absolutely amazing. Now we almost had enough to do another ult. Maybe if I would have done this a little bit better, like being able to get a little bit more skill points, maybe waste one more chance at going, that would have been absolutely amazing. But what we can do is we could take this time to just apply the buffs that we couldn't earlier, and I think we're good here. I can just do, let's say, a shield ray to give some DP, but we're gonna use overdrive to go ahead and buff, and then we can possibly nuke him down next turn with the abundance of skill points that we have. But realistically, this is kind of the game plan that you want to do. Just hyper buff realistically for the most part, and once you hyper buff with any of your characters, boom, they're basically dead. Especially if I think if you have something like Tama or any of the other characters that have more hits, or just have an overall better skill than this Ichigo, because Ichigo is a little bit lower on the power side, just due to the low amount of hits, the low amount of damage that she's going to do compared to what other characters are probably doing. You're probably gonna have an easier time one-shotting this guy. So Ichigo has everything but one more absolute phenomenon. She has enough for her ult. We're gonna go ahead and put Saika back up here, and then we're also gonna throw in Megumi. So we're gonna do another absolute phenomenon, strip bear, and then back to her ult. And this should be the one shot. This should, well, not the one shot, the two shot. But this should overall be the end of this score battle, which I love this mode. This mode is really cool. I know people min-max the crap out of this, but yeah, this mode is really nice. So that's basically how I cleared this score battle. Again, I do think even without this specific Ichigo, if you don't have weakness, let's say you don't have ice character, you don't have an electric character, I do think this boss is still possible, very much so, without the on element DPS. So you can still use a character like how I have my light Ruka. You possibly can use the dark Inori as well. A lot of these guys could technically still work on this score battle, because we're not at the point where if you don't have the weakness, you're basically not going to clear. So you should be able to clear with the normal setup if you have any of these guys to help out. If not, if you don't have Aoi, you use a healer. If you don't have Yinksha or Shiki, you use any other character that'll give you enhancement, that'll give you any type of crit rate, crit damage buff, anything like that. That would help out pretty much the same way. And the same thing goes for where Megumi is at. You would want someone who's able to lower defense or lower or expose vulnerabilities, which is going to help you out with doing more weakness damage if you are on element. But make sure you are on element if you're going to be doing exposing weaknesses, because that's the only thing it boosts. Lower defense is going to help you overall in a general standpoint. But other than that, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know if you need anything else realistically in these score battle videos. I do want to format them a little bit better next time. This is the first time me doing it, and especially all at once live, so it does have a little hiccups in there, of course. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the next one, and peace.